Hello and good day, Dr. Muhammad Faisal Hamidi.
Welcome to TED TV, co-presented by University Malaysia Police, and we are Unimapians. I am Monica Thomas.
And I am Tai Tong Singh.
Welcome to our world-class business show. Tai, can we welcome our guests?
Oh yes, please welcome Miss Ionis, Miss Dennis, Miss Afifa, Miss Mashita, and Miss Weichi. Our topic today is multinational company, which is McDonald Corporation, is looking for a new market entry strategy to expand and widen the company into a new market abroad.
Yes, I am happy that we could contribute the best strategy for the company with the help of our special guest. First, let me introduce the company, which is McDonald's Corporation.
McDonald's is one of the fast food provider in the world. It is known as hamburger restaurant which can provide fast food in just 30 seconds. McDonald's was founded in San Bernardino, California in 1948. The former founder was Maurice McDonald and Richard McDonald. The mission of McDonald's is to be the customer's first place and way to eat. This way, they would like to inspire the people who delight each customer with unmatched quality, service, cleanliness, and value every time. The promise that McDonald's provide to their customer is to provide simple, easy, and enjoyment to every customer at every visit. McDonald's restaurant have three most important values, which is fairness, honesty, and integrity. The purpose of McDonald's restaurant is to feed and foster community, which means serve the community, crew, customer, farmers, franchisee, and supplier. The impact of McDonald's restaurant is mainly in four areas. The first impact is food quality and sourcing. From this, McDonald's restaurant helping to a quality, secure, and sustainable food chain. The second impact on McDonald's is our planet, which shows McDonald's are committed to be a protector of our planet for the communities by keeping waste out of the nature. For example, McDonald's only using paper bags to reduce the usage of non-recyclable plastics. Third impact is community connection area. This is how McDonald's support to connect the families by providing service for door-to-door service and makes them spend more time together with their families. This will uplift people's everyday needs, especially foods. The last impact on McDonald's is McDonald's also being supportive in jobs, inclusion, and empowerment area. They being the opportunity for the community to get a fine job, get a better education, and skill development in communities. Before they come out with the hamburger shop, Mac Brothers were doing drive-in hot dog stand in Arcata, California in 1937. Mac Brothers come out with the perfect system which called Speedy System, but all were collapsed. So they decide to promote their existence so they work on giving out parties and so on. This is where they start to attract their customers. Their restaurant is perfectly organized and the taste of food were also rich. There came a man named Ray Kroc. Ray Kroc is formerly known as an American entrepreneur. He was a paper cup seller, then became a salesman for milkshake machines. Then, in 1954, Ray Kroc received a bulk order from Mac Brothers for the milkshake machines. Ray Kroc was so curious until he would like to know the purpose of they buying those machines. So, he decided to visit McDonald's Brothers shop. Later, he found out McDonald's restaurant is providing delicious and quick fast food. That is where Ray Kroc found interesting in that simple design of the restaurant and were attracted by their organization plan and idea of coming out with fast food. Later on, Ray Kroc had an idea of making franchise with McDonald's restaurant. He revealed his idea to the former founder, but they refused. Even though they refused at the first stage, Ray Kroc managed to convince them. On 1955, they had signed for McDonald's restaurant to be franchised. The first McDonald's restaurant under McDonald Corporation were founded in Des Plaines, Illinois. Ray Kroc mortgaged his own house to get loan to run the business. Days passes, but Ray Kroc did not receive any significant profit from the McDonald's franchising. In meantime, one of his employees that he employed has given a suggestion to add menu on his McDonald's food supplies, which is milkshakes come with chocolate and vanilla flavor. This idea has been refused by Mac and Richard, the former founder, because they were not found interest in it. In between this conflict, a man, Harry J. Sonneborn, came across to Ray Kroc. He suggested to purchase and lease the land to others, which means doing a real estate business. He also explained that this way he could receive revenue and capital to expand his business more wider. Harry J. Sonneborn also suggested to take control of franchisees Realty Corporation of McDonald's. Yet this makes Mac Brothers refuse the idea, but Ray explained that they only had authority inside the company, not outside of its land. Ray Kroc stopped the Mac Brothers to avoid involving in making profit. Ray Kroc cancelled the contract that he made with Mac Brothers. He called himself the McDonald's Corporation. Ray decided to purchase the Big Brothers ownership. They demand for $2.7 million and 1% of the company profit as compensation. And they also want San Bernardino McDonald's restaurant and its employee for them as a gift. But Ray did not agree and he forced them and gave compensation worth of $1.3 million for the both Mac Brothers and occupied the ownership from them. This is where Ray Kroc started up Ray's ownership of McDonald's Corporation. His persistence and determination in him make him grow as big that he can achieve even in the age of 52. McDonald's restaurant became famous throughout worldwide. Time being, there are over 69 million customers daily in 100 over countries across 37,855 outlets as of year 2018. As of 2020, the 9th Global Brand Evaluations holds by McDonald's Corporation. From this assignment, we will be discussing our 4 strategies of market entries to expand the McDonald's restaurant into a market abroad. The 4 new market entry strategies are franchising, partnering, licensing, and joint venture.
Great, Monica. Thank you. Now let us listen to Miss Dennis on the strategy that we use in McDonald's Corporation.
Thank you for inviting me. Now I'm going to talk about company analysis in McDonald's. McDonald's vision statement is to move the velocity to drive profitable growth and become an even better McDonald's, serving more customers delicious food each day around the world. The statement reveals the growth potential and improvement trajectory of the company. It retains the previous purpose of the company stated in the later vision stated, which is to progressively develop while offering the customer the best insights. Secondly, move to the drive growth. In this component, the company shows its desire to develop into a large company. Such a purpose can just be accomplished by the company being more strategic while expanding and diversifying its operation. Thirdly, better at serving customers. McDonald's has never been satisfied with the quality it has. With its group of experts, the company is always keeping watch for new approach to make its service a bit higher. Second element is core competencies of McDonald's. McDonald's brand image is one significant competence that gives the brand additional influence in terms of marketing as well as sales. It has a strong brand picture in the market that it has worked through the long term and continues to strengthen through new companies and a smart strategy. And the third element is finance structure of a McDonald's. The total revenue of McDonald's has kept on tumbling from 2013 onwards. In 2016, the total revenue of the brand was $24,622 million, which thumped to $22,822 million. Notwithstanding, both operating income and overall gain of the brand have continued rising during the last 3 years. The operating income rose from $7,745 million in 2016 to $9,553 million in 2017. The overall gain of McDonald's rose from $4,687 million to $5,192 million. Total assets of McDonald's rose from $31,024 million to $33,804 million. Total debt also rose during the period from 25,956 to 29,536 million dollars. And the second part I'm going to talk about is industry analysis. 5 forces model analysis for McDonald's. In this case, McDonald's, the danger of new entrants and contention is exponentially high because of the low boundary of section. Establishing new restaurant requires a somewhat low capital expenses and no existing customer base. Further, with the choice of leasing premise and hardware, the cost of establishing new business in the sector become even lower. Secondly, the danger of substitutes is extremely high in the fast food industry. For instance, many individuals can pick to plan and eat food from the solace of their homes. Secondly, there is insignificant separation between the products present in various fast food restaurants. Thirdly, the bartering force of customers exerts moderate to low pressure on the industry. For instance, McDonald's is increasingly advising separate products such as Big Mac among others. In spite of the fact that there are many substitutes and no switching cost, industry leaders such as McDonald's position the process of their products comparable to their significant reward inside the predominant market value, elasticity and contents. Second element is taste analysis of McDonald's. Political factors. McDonald's is additionally obligated to cover these taxes. These duty commitments are diverse in every country. In any case, in national where they are served shopper insurance law, companies need to ensure that the quality is kept up with and they convey what they granted. On nation where customer law are the solid, McDonald's partakes in additional benefit they yet in national like US. McDonald's need to confront significant expenses in types of claims and should with a break of nature of an assistance. Secondly, environment factor. McDonald's falls in a similar class. Their deals is to a great extent subject to economy of country. If the economy progresses nicely, individuals will have more extra cash and will spend more in devouring food things from McDonald's. Likewise, McDonald's imports a lot of its natural substance from different nations. Swapping scale changes will likewise influence the task of the company. Thirdly, social factors. McDonald's has different outlets in various countries. Every nation has its own culture and McDonald's ensure that the social and strict hindrances are remembered while choosing the food menus at these various outlets. For example, the presence of meat in food menus is viewed as hostile in India by some Hindu street gatherings. McDonald's has dispatched extraordinary vegan suppers to take into account that market. And the third element was SWOT analysis of McDonald's. Strengths. McDonald's has a presumed name amongst competitors in the food industry because of the nature of food and service. The McDonald's logo is quite possibly the most preserved logo in various countries, especially amongst youngsters. McDonald's has kept the nature of its service standardized and the specific quality measures are followed to keep its food weakness. Selling junk food at low cost as maneuvered McDonald's into negative press throughout the long term. McDonald's advertisements focus fundamentally on focusing on kids. Other objective groups are disregarded in their advertisement. McDonald's has outlets worldwide and due to the Sufficient franchise agreement, they face quality issues on occasion. McDonald's has a high industry cost opportunity. McDonald's can extend by giving organic food line to individuals who are well-buying consumers. McDonald's could grow by offering menu which gathers to every one of them individuals. McDonald's could offer various discount deals to draw in more customers such as promotion and season discount to beat its competitors. McDonald's could stand out by orchestrating or sponsoring various events for kids and adults. And lastly, treats. McDonald's sales generally reliant upon the economy of the country. Thusly, in its case country's economy faces recession, it also tends to seriously affect McDonald's sales value. McDonald's is confronting gigantic content from the new arising retailers and organic food outlets. In the event that restorative measures are not taken, the negative press could fundamentally affect McDonald's.
Thanks, Miss Dinesh. Please welcome Miss Weichi to explain about the next strategy.
Thanks, Monica. My next strategy will be joint venture. And what is joint ventures? A joint venture could be a cooperation between two companies, one domestic and one international. Both partners invest their money in the business, share their ownership, and have authority over it. Typically, the foreign partner contributes market knowledge, business connection, and also network and access to other in-country aspects of the firm, like reality and regulatory compliance. Because joint ventures are riskier and fewer flexible than other alternatives, they have more commitment from company. In many nations, joint venture can give tax benefits, especially if foreign-owned companies are taxed at higher rate than local-owned companies. In several countries, domestic spouse must own at least a portion of all business companies. Joint ventures also can be multinational. When two or more company partners collaborate to conduct business in an exceedingly global territory, this is often the foremost usual scenario. In times of slow or accelerated growth, good joint ventures can bring valuable opportunity while decreasing costs and risk. After completing a replacement partnership with CITIC Ltd, CITIC Capital, and Carlyle Capital, McDonald's announced the plan for the next 20 years. The state-owned corporation will own all McDonald's existing restaurants as well as any new one. According to media statement made by Chang Yichen, McDonald's China chairman and CEO of CITIC Capital, the strategy alliance is aimed at securing better location for McDonald's expansion. The company has real estate that will allow McDonald's to increase its presence in China, particularly in third and fourth tier cities. The company wants to raise the percentage of its stores in this developing city from 35% to 45%. Furthermore, the joint ventures will assist in bringing local market experience and local resources to McDonald's management in China, which has caused McDonald's to slip behind other food brands such as KFC and Yum China in recent years due to a lack of these resources. Following the expansion announcement, McDonald's affirmed plans to deliver digitalized and personalized eating experience, which are popular themes among China consumers. The joint ventures in China are part of McDonald's global strategy to reduce its global footprint, with the corporation aiming for a majority of its locations to run as franchise. Outside of United States, McDonald's expects China to become its greatest market by handing over power. The fast food behemoth seeks to reclaim market share through local decision making that is more responsive to consumer requests. In addition, Vision 2022 calls for a 45% growth in the number of McDonald's restaurants in so-called Tier 3 and Tier 4 cities. These cities are minor urban centers with population of up to 150,000 people and GDPs of less than 67 billion. often at the prefecture or country level. It also includes ambitions to expand McDonald's experience of the future concept to over 90% of outlets in China, allowing the company to provide more consumers with digitalized and personalized dining experience. McDonald's has funded a number of technical advances in recent years as part of its digital offering, including touchscreen ordering in-store and table serving in some locations.
Thanks, Miss Wei Chi. Let's hear it from Miss Ione now.
Present, sure. Thanks, Tai, for welcoming me. Hi and hello again. Let me continue for the next strategy, which is franchising. First of all, as for franchise, the definition of a franchise is a contractual entry strategy in which one company, the franchisor, offers intangible property and others assistance to another company, which called the franchisee over a long period of time. Franchisees are frequently paid in the form of fixed fees. Other than that, royalty payments, or it can be combination of these two. A firm can have more control over how its product is sold in a certain area via franchising. In addition to the initial transfer of property, franchisors frequently give their franchisees with initial capital, management training, plus location recommendation and also promotional help. As for McDonald's, which was founded in 1955, is currently the world's largest food service retailers, with more than 32,000 outlets serving more than 60 million customers every day in 119 various countries. Independent businessmen and businesswomen own and run more than 75% of McDonald's restaurants globally. McDonald's was able to reach a wider target market and also more people globally by buying additional franchise stores, which it also helped it gain and maintain a huge market share in the fast food industry while also improving the company's corporate reputation in a long run. As we all know, everything that we do have advantages and also disadvantages. So these are just a few of many advantages of owning a McDonald's franchise. First of all, they have complete control over how their firm is run. At the same time, the owner has all of the marketing, branding, and also operational experience he or she requires to be successful. Plus, the operations of McDonald's, on the other hand, are particularly significant since the owner contributes to the company's franchisee reputation. In addition, McDonald's now has franchisee stores in 119 countries, serving millions of consumers every day. McDonald's has grown in popularity and customer devotion thanks to the availability of franchisee shops all over the world. And lastly, the franchisor can profit from his or her brand through franchising. Moving on, as you can see in my slide, it shows the opposite side of franchising, which, as for the number one, is it may be challenging for franchisees to manage a large number of franchisees in a variety of national marketplace.
Plus, franchisees' product quality and advertising messaging will not be consistent from one market to the next, which this is a major concern. Besides that, startup costs for a franchise might be rather costly. A franchise price varies based on the type of business. The more popular the company is, the more the franchisee must pay the franchisor to obtain the right to utilize the company's distinctive brand and sell its products. This is due to company with a well-known trademarks will reduce the risk that franchisees face. Because McDonald's is such a well-known restaurant, the the franchisee will be asked to pay a large startup fee. Plus, the location of the store determines the cost of beginning a business. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Miss Ayuni. Miss Afia, are you ready to share with us your strategies?
Yes, sure, Monica. So the next strategy is partnering. So partnering is just a word for working together and get a mutual benefit from it. So partnering can be established amongst the customers of McDonald's, the suppliers for McDonald's, the McDonald's employees, and also their potential competitors. Partnering can lead to continual improvement in such key areas such as process and products, relationships between customers and suppliers of McDonald's, and the McDonald's customer satisfaction. Also, by doing partnering, it can enhance individual competitiveness so that the McDonald's employees or workers can, or staff even, can enhance their individual competitiveness. They can strive to get a better achievement in the company, and also not to forget the benefit from internal partnering, like the improvement of relationships amongst the employees of McDonald's or amongst the department within the McDonald's company. In order to establish partnering relationships, there is a partnering process that needs to be followed. First of all, to implement a partnership, it is necessary to understand what the concept of partnership itself is, to avoid any sort of misunderstanding of the concept partnership is, and also to avoid any mistakes during the duration of this partnership is. Having successfully understood the concept of partnership, and so it is time to identify who the potential partners and who will join the organization, which is the McDonald's company. It doesn't matter if they are external suppliers or internal suppliers, and it also doesn't matter if they are just a customer of McDonald's, because any of them will still be considered a potential partners. So in an organization, there is a key people appointed, and one of their role is to make an initiative involving all the work in their own department to reach the goal that has been set by their organization. And these key people support is
very much needed in the partnering process. After identify who the key decision makers are, then meeting or briefing need to be held between the key decision makers for the two organization, which is McDonald's and the other partners. In this briefing, the main thing that need to be highlighted is how can both organization be mutually receive benefits from this partnership, and what do they expect from their partners. And following the briefing, the key decision makers should gauge their level of commitment, like do they willing to commit in this partnership in a long term, or do they willing to make any procedural changes that is necessary for this partnership in order for this partnership to work in their favor. Only then do they find and identify who the key operating personnel in this relationship in this partnership are, and who will take action in the on the commitment made by the executive level decision maker, and later on form a partnership team. After the team have been formed, they should develop the mission statement and also objective for the so-called partnership. One of the partnership that McDonald's has implemented is they have forged a strategic partnership with International Business Machine Corporation, IBM. The purpose of this partnership is to develop an artificial intelligence technology that can help fast food chains like McDonald's automate its entry routes. In the deal they had made, McDonald's had agreed that IBM would acquire McDtech Labs, which is formerly known as Apprente before McDonald's bought the technology company in 2019. The McDtech Labs uses AI technology to understand the drive-through orders, and through that technology, it has proven to have substantial benefit to both the customers of McDonald's and also the employees of McDonald's. Unfortunately, the financial term of the agreement is not disclosed. However, it is said that the revenue top estimates as its international market bounce back. And lastly, McDonald's has partnered with various businesses or companies, and among them is called Ronald McDonald House Charities. This house charities is located at UK, Malaysia, and America, and so many more countries. And also the Walt Disney Company, FNN, the Coca-Cola, the Gaihan, and also this Korean boy band called BTS. So McDonald's has also partnered with them. There are so many more businesses that McDonald's has partnered with and receive mutual benefit from it. And that is all from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Miss Afia. The last strategy of expansion of McDonald's will be explained by Miss Mashita.
Sure, thank you Ms. Tatansin for welcoming me. So now I will explain the last strategy of expansion by McDonald's, which is licensing. So what is licensing? Licensing are the contract or agreement between two companies where one company permits another company to manufacture its product under specific condition and for a specific payment. Licensing patent, trademark, copyright, design, and other intellectual property to others is one of the fastest and most profitable method to expand all firm. With this, McDonald's used the trademark licensing to expand their firm. Trademark licensing are the trademark owner, which is licensor, grants permission to another licensee to use the trademark on mutually agreed terms and conditions. As we can see, McDonald's once released a Happy Meal set using a Disney's trademark. In this situation, Walt Disney granting McDonald's a license for McDonald's to co-brand its McDonald's Happy Meals with a Disney trademark character. Although Disney will have say and control over how McDonald's use Disney's trademark on McDonald's Happy Meals, but Disney does not have to control overall business operation. Next, licensing will be used for the corporation's long-term profit. In December 2016, Lionhorn Private Limited has been named as the development licensee for McDonald's Malaysia and Singapore market. McDonald's transferred its ownership interest in McDonald's Malaysia and Singapore for the development licensee and awarded the development licensee a license to operate McDonald's restaurant in this market under the development licensee structure. The development licensee partner will supply the required funds to support and build the business as well as pay McDonald's an initial franchise fee and annual royalty. In these food industries, McDonald's know their market very well compared to all other companies. The knowledge allows McDonald's to make marketing in a more engaging way about the product to regular consumer. This is an opportunity for McDonald's to expand the reach of a message, product, or concept without having to invest fully into it. Although certain elements of the arrangement have been planned in advance, there is still a certain degree of freedom and control given a licensee in the management of their business. The licensing process will give many advantages to the McDonald's. Firstly, the advantage of licensing to the McDonald's are to reduce the risk involved in doing business. From a licensee's point of view, there is less risk in product development, market testing, manufacturing, and distribution. Because of that, McDonald's use licensing to reduce risk of their product development and increase revenue stability by expanding market segment. Secondly, with licensing, it offers the freedom to develop a unique market approach. Like we know, McDonald's know their market are much better than other market. So, McDonald's as a licensee will be able to make marketing more widespread and engaging so that its customer can more easily recognize and remember them. This freedom has also made McDonald's more active in industrial development to future highlight its product. Besides, everything we do definitely has its advantage and disadvantage. With this, licensing also have the disadvantage, which is licensing create a dependency upon the licensor. When a licensing agreement is signed, then the licensee is taking on the risk in the arrangement. They are depend upon the quality of the intellectual property being used to make their own profit. If they do a great job, then and earn plenty of cash, the licensor might ask for a renewal that costs more than the initial license. Like we can see now, McDonald's become a popular choice in fast food circle, and indirectly, the profits of McDonald's are also huge. Because of that, McDonald's need to pay a slightly more expensive price for the renewal of its license according to their profits. That's all from me. So I will pass it again to Miss Titan Singh.
How great the strategy is! Let me conclude this show. In conclusion, the reason why McDonald's is so successful is because, first, the effective promotion and discount. The McDonald's have the McDonald's apps, and in the McDonald's apps, there are various type of discount and promotion voucher. For example, the original price of a latte is 10 ringgit, but if you use the McDonald's apps, the price is going to be RM 10 ringgit for 2 latte, and it will be cheaper than the original one. And the second reason is affordable price. For example, the McDonald's have the set meal, which includes like burger, fries, and drinks, and the price of a set meal is start from RM 15 ringgit. And not only that, McDonald's also have the mix and match, which only costs 6 ringgit. It includes a burger or a fries, or a burger or a drinks, and so on. And the third reason, like why McDonald's is so successful, is because the products are modified due to the country cultures and the people's preference. For example, Malaysia is famous of nasi lemak, and that's why the McDonald's of Malaysia, they have launched the nasi lemak set meal. And not only that, like Thailand, the Thailand people, like they love to eat porks, and so that's why the Thailand's McDonald's, they have the set meals also like includes porks. Next, I'm going to conclude the main advantages of each strategy. There are 4 strategies: joint venture, partnering, franchising, and licensing. The first one, joint venture. The joint venture provide tax incentives, especially the tax rate of a foreign company is higher than a domestic company. And the second one, partnering. Partnering will improve the processes and product, and not only that, the relationship between the customer and also the supplier, and also the customer satisfaction. The third one is franchising. The franchising will allow the franchisor to have a fully control on the business. And not only that, the franchisor will have all the resources that he or she needed in marketing, brand promotion, which means advertisement, and so on. And the last strategy is licensing. So the licensing will allow the local company in the target location to distribute its product on the market. And the last one, finally, the recommendation. I only have one recommendation, which was, in my opinion, I recommend McDonald's to have like continuous strategic changes. This because like to ensure the company, which was the McDonald's, to maintain a competitive advantage. Nowadays, like there are a lot of competitive like around the world, like Pizza Hut, KFC, Subway, Texas, and so on. And that's it for my conclusion for this assignment, and thank you for listening.
That's great, Thai. Once again, we thank all our special guests who are here today.
With this, signing off, Titan Singh and
Monica,
everybody, thank you very much.
thank you.